Alright, if you remember the last video, we had problems connecting to the network, and we had thought we had it installed wirelessly. I mean, on the control panel, it showed everything was hooked up. It showed this green icon, and it just the installation went downhill from there. So we went back and said, "Look, well, I was a smart ass. I went in and did something before I was supposed to do it, so let's make believe that I didn't set it up ahead of time." So I went back and redid the installation, and I checked this, which means that it was wired is on, but it's not connected, and ran through these screens, guided setup. The wireless access point is here. We don't need the one button setup. And where you're about to add the printer and disconnect the Ethernet cable that wasn't connected, we actually prompted to install the USB cable, which we did. It found the wireless access points. We entered the name and the security type, and then basically it said the connection failed. So there's a problem with the wireless installation through the setup program. So we went back and said, okay, let's do it with the Ethernet cable. And we connected the Ethernet cable and went through, and everything worked fine. We had set up the email. We set up the fax. We set up all this fax information here. And it tested the connection, and it worked. Then we went into the network configuration for scanning, and that connected properly. Then we went into the update page and registered the product. And went into the smart solutions and had to register again. Told me my account already existed, so I had to log in with an old account. And then once we were logged in, we were able to go in and connect our printer. I had trouble finding it at first, but then we unplugged it via these instructions here for 10 seconds. Press retry, and even though it said on the control panel that the Ethernet was connected, it had an IP address and everything, it still didn't find it right here. So we unplugged it, turned it off and on, unplugged it, and then it found it. I mean, something's not right, but anyway, we found it. We've entered the printer code that showed up on the printer, and then we started to install various smart solutions on the device. So this is screenshots of some of the smart solutions that we installed, and basically we ended up with this selection of smart solutions, and that was it. So where we are now is we're back. Everything's supposed to be working right now. We covered almost all of this stuff here. We had a hiccup on supply status because it didn't connect, but now you can see that now that we're connected correctly with a wired Ethernet. We couldn't get wireless to work, so we're connect wired right now, which is rock solid all the time, every printer. And you can see that it's showing us that we have approximate levels, and if we click here we can go to the embedded web server, and you can also enter the name of the IP address in the address bar up here, and you'll in your web browser, and you'll go to the home page as well. and this is the embedded web server, and it shows you the status. You can set up scam profiles. Here's all your settings for email, address book, your default settings, the paper sizes, resolutions, set up your email, set up your email settings, fax settings, and then over here, security, email alerts that you can have sent out if there's problems with, say, supplies, ink cartridges. There's cartridge low, changed media, or a misfeed, jamming the scanner. And then there's two different lists that you can configure with two different settings, and have emails automatically sent when any of these events occur. Address book. This is for your scan email and fax address books, local ones. Add a contact. Here's your fax number, email address, and then you have this gets added to your address book, and then you can have groups of contacts. Intervention, import, export. The settings, the default settings. If you're in an enterprise and you have a default settings for your resolution, paper settings, paper types, sizes, you can import and export those settings so you don't have to redo them over and over again for each new machine that you add. This is the Lexmark Solutions device management enabled. This means that you can see it with Mark Vision Enterprise, high-end device management software. Reports show your statistics. We've only printed one sheet so far. It's going mono, color, fax, copy, total, sides printed, scan usage, supply information. It gives you plenty of info on the usage of the machine. Plus, with Mark Vision Enterprise, you can pull that information across a variety of machines on the network. And there's a bunch of other lists here that we're not going to go over. But basically, that's the embedded web server. That's printer web page. Support settings, adjust print options, configure your printer. This is the same settings that are available from the printer folder. This will be equivalent to right-clicking the printer and doing properties. Printer properties. Oh no, this goes to the web page. So long. More. Adjust print options. This is your print preferences like you would get from the control panel if you right-clicked and did print preferences. Is also what the print driver looks like. The layout is, you can see number of copies, the orientation, duplex, all on the front page. This is beautiful. Poster, booklet. This poster is, you can make a poster up to 16 pages in size. You can have it overlap or not overlap. You can specify the size of the overlap. Your booklet settings, you can say create a cover, inside, outside, print on them, print on the inside, print on the outside, print a fold mark, maximum sheets per bundle. You can do 1 through 16 sheets in a booklet, signature booklet. They've got a nice booklet and features in your NUP, 2 through 16 sheets on a page, and over here it gives you a overview of the function that you've selected when you change it. So let's go back to normal. Over here you can save your settings and recall them. So I can load, say they have some defaults here, the eco settings. You can see it's 2 up, print page borders, and then duplex. So the eco settings are that, as well as let's see, it's automatic. It doesn't adjust the quality at all, but it does adjust the for the paper usage. So if I change any of these settings, you can see that it goes away, and then I could save it. I could save this now as a eco settings booklet, or which is an oxymoron, because this 2 up doesn't work on booklets. But nevertheless, you get the gist, and then you can go in and import them from a centralized location, which comes in handy in an enterprise setting where you would, say, have a print a company document, and you want the paper to come out of out of the letterhead tray, out of a tray that's specified for letterhead, or you always want duplex, or you always want draft mode. And you could make up a bunch of these corporate settings, and then you can import them and export them here. Save IT some time managing these settings. And then over here, paper finishing. This would be nice if the paper type was on the front page and the paper source was on the front page. You can see that it has a fair amount of paper types available, more than a laser printer, because it is an inkjet printer. Laser printers don't have glossy photo and that kind of thing. The quality settings, auto, draft, normal, best. It's always nice to set this as a default, and when you need better quality, you come in and click either auto or normal. Most prints are perfectly readable in draft mode, and they save a lot of ink and a lot of money. Color preference, advanced color options, ICC. The color output, here's another one. You might want to set black and white as default. Black and white ink is considerably less expensive than color ink. So you would come in and set this as a default, draft, black and white. And then anytime you needed better quality, you would simply go print properties and come in and do auto. Or over here you could do, say, everyday printing or factory defaults. And as you can see, it brings back the quality to auto and color. So that's nice. You can do watermarks on all pages, different one on the front page, different ones on odd even pages. You can edit the watermarks. There's a variety of standard watermarks, confidential, date and time, draft, user, and you can edit and save watermarks here. Other options, meta file spooling, I really don't even know what that is, so it's all by itself here. So that's what the print driver looks like.